had a conversation with a hospital chaplain, and she told me that much of her work is sitting with families after the doctors have removed life support. Often they don't know her, but that's where she comes and she offers spiritual, emotional support for that process. So I asked her what it's like, because I've never been there for that process. And she says that sometimes when people are on life support, they're just holding on by just a tiny bit, and when they withdraw the life support, it's actually hard to tell if they're alive or dead. You can't see them breathing. You can't necessarily feel a pulse. And so the only way to tell is by looking at the monitors that are above their bed. And so sometimes it can take an hour or two. And so people are with this person they love, they're with their body, but instead of being present and physically with them, they're looking at the monitors, letting the monitors tell them what's happening. So their experience is being determined by a digital meter up there. And so I thought, well, surely there's a way to ritualize this. What if we found a way to take the information that's in the monitors and turn it into a sound? So, it'll be data that is high and it eventually goes to low and it stops. And if that were turned into a sound like the sound of ocean waves, or you could pick any kind of sound, a gong, a bell, birds in a forest, that has volume, and then it slowly, slowly, slowly comes down and disappears. So when people are working or sitting beside this person, they can be with them, and it's still their senses. So it's their physical senses, which is different than looking at a monitor, and they can tell that slowly, slowly, slowly they die. And so the follow-up to this story is I met another woman who is in charge of patient experience at a big hospital, and she took it to the committee, and it might actually happen. Someone at the committee said, oh, the guy who does the IT in the ward was a high school friend of mine. I bet he could figure that out, blah, blah, blah. So it may actually happen. But in all these situations, we want to find the best soul response, the best way for us to integrate and come to terms with and absorb what really happens. And when we see it on a screen, it's hard to really let it land in our body. But a sound, our body knows what to do.